So I have officially decided that tomorrow I am starting the 75 hard challenge. And one thing that I saw another influencer do who was doing this challenge was she put a bunch of post-it notes up on her wall and she numbered them all. And as she completes every single task for the day, she'll take the post-it note down. And that sounded exactly like the kind of dopamine that my brain could need. So just a warning, these are not gonna be straight. They're probably gonna be a little crooked because I'm just not a perfectionist. And even if I wanted to, I couldn't put these up straight. So I'm not even gonna try. But anyways, the reason that I'm doing this challenge is because I just turned 32 last week and I've loved my 30s so far. I put myself on a mission when I turned 30 to make my 30s the best decade of my life so far. And honestly, I can say that so far it has been. But hitting another year, I'm realizing that I've been chasing my dreams a little bit, but I have not been going all in. And I want to turn 33 next year. And I want to be in a place where I know that I've given my dreams my all, that I have been so disciplined and that I've become the kind of person that I want to become. So that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to become the woman who actively every single day chases after her dreams. And this is one of the best ways that I can think of to do that. I am going to devote myself for 75 days to my goals, to the things that are important to me. And I'm not gonna do the traditional 75 hard things. Those aren't gonna be the boxes that I'm gonna tick. I'm actually creating my own habit tracker and we'll go through what each of the habits that I'm doing are after this. But doing something like this, where I'm documenting the process, where here I am, day 0, starting tomorrow, and having the accountability, having the visibility of me doing this challenge is something that I think is really going to help me make sure that I do check every single box every single day for the next 75 days. And it's the perfect time to do this if you've ever been thinking about it too, because summer is in about 75-ish days, right? And if you really lock in before then, you could be living the life of your dreams. You could be showing up as the dream version of yourself by summertime. And that's super inspiring to me. So I decided it was the perfect time to do it, fresh off of my birthday, and I don't have a ton of crazy things going on in the next couple of months. So it is time that I'm giving myself the permission to go fully in on my goals. And I'm so excited to see what happens at the end of this. So I'm gonna finish putting up all these sticky notes and put the numbers on. And then after that, we'll set up my habit tracker list together and I'll go through why I'm doing each and every one of my goals. Because my goal behind this is to just become the best version of myself. So every single habit that I am putting on my list is something that's going to help me become the version of myself that I want to be, that I am going to be so excited next year on my 33rd birthday to say, yeah, this is who I am, who I identify as. These are the habits that I just do every single day. I don't even have to think about them. This challenge is the best way to just speed up that process and really get a running head start. So super excited. Let me finish these post-its. Voila. I genuinely feel like I reached flow state, putting in all these numbers and just setting up this wall. So if that's any indication of how this challenge is gonna go, I'm very excited. Okay, so let's talk about now what my habits that I'm gonna do every single day and why. Okay, so to track every single habit that I'm doing, I'm not only going to rip a post-it note off every single time I complete all of the habits, but I'm also going to track them all in my habit tracker. So this is just one I got off Amazon. I've gotten several different versions before, and I put it on my fridge and I let the whole world see it. And by the whole world, I mean anyone who walks into my house. But what it is it has a bunch of places where you can write down the habits. You can write down weekly ones if you want to, monthly notes, and then every single day you can check off the box. So March is a perfect month to do this because it starts on a Sunday, which is very exciting. So day 1 is going to be March 1st for me. And I am very excited for this. So let's fill out my habit tracker together. I journaled all about them before. Okay, here we go. So one of the things that I want to do, which is going to be, I think, one of the hardest things for me to do, is post daily on TikTok. So I currently have not been posting any sort of short form content, not on Instagram, not on TikTok, for over a year. multiple years probably. But I have been consistent about posting once a week on YouTube. I did take the month of February off, but now we're back at it. And I'm super excited. So I not only want to continue posting on YouTube every single week, but I also want to post daily on TikTok. So the reason I'm having this be a daily habit is because I want to build the identity that I am a creator. I am someone who creates. I want to take the pressure off of myself. If you're posting every single day, I'm nervous about because I haven't posted a single video on TikTok for a long time, like I said, but I know that's going to grow me and challenge me and be really, really good for me. And I'm going to be so happy that I did it. So that is number one. Next, we have 2 different 45-minute workouts or walks. I know that in the actual challenge, it's 2 45-minute workouts and one of them has to be outside. I will definitely strive to have one of the workouts outside, but I did actually just get surgery last month. So I can't currently work out using weights. So I will probably just be doing 2 walks at the beginning of this challenge. And we already take our dog on a walk every single morning and every single evening, but I'm going to make sure that one of those walks is at least 45 minutes outside. And then I'm going to probably do the other one on the treadmill while I'm editing my TikTok for the day. And the reason why that's so important is because movement is just foundational. I am a personal trainer. I have always prioritized movement. It's something that's super important to me. And I think that I just went through a whole bulk over the winter time, and I just got surgery, like I said, and I want to look my best this summer. So in order to do that, I do need to make sure that I'm prioritizing my movement. In that same vein, I'm also going to be tracking my macros. So I know some people have different opinions about tracking macros, but for me, I've never actually done it for a long period of time. I kind of just eat more intuitively, and honestly, that hasn't worked for me. So I have been very fit in a lot of different times of my life. I've always been very strong, but my leanness has fluctuated a ton, right? Back in November, I went on a trip to Cancun and I felt super lean, but I also lost a bunch of muscle because I think I cut my calories too low and too quickly, and it just didn't work out. And I know that the science of macros is so helpful, and it can be disordered for some people. But for me, I eat more disorderedly when I'm judging my body and I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to lose weight. So I just cut back my calories. And if I'm not tracking that, I'm probably not going to be fueling myself in the way that I need to be fueled. So for me, this is going to be the first time that I'm actually sitting down and I'm going to coach myself as if I was one of my own clients, and I'm going to track my macros. And that doesn't mean I need to hit a certain macro target every single day. That's not what this challenge is going to be about for me. I just need to get into the habit of tracking my macros and seeing, okay, when I'm eating 2,100 calories every day, I'm feeling this way. The scale tends to be going this way. The way that I feel about my body, the way that I feel inflamed feels good or bad, and kind of judging from there. And I'm excited about it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is my red light therapy mask from Omnilux, and I'm going to be habit stacking that with a meditation. I did this for like 65 days in a row, I'm pretty sure, starting in December and following into the earlier part of this year. I lost my streak one day, and now I haven't been doing it as consistently, but I was feeling so good when I was doing it. I use the app called Open for my meditations, and it's like a lot of breath work and meditation, and love it. It has absolutely changed the game for me, and I've still been meditating at night before I go to bed, so I haven't fully lost that habit, but I want to do it in the morning and in the evening, and I want to stack it with my red light mask because I want my skin to be looking the best it could possibly look. Okay, next, I'm going to do my morning pages. So if you've ever read The Artist's Way, this is something that she recommends in this book, is to journal 3 pages, just stream of consciousness, whatever you're thinking about every single day. And I've been journaling most mornings, but I don't always hit that 3-page limit. But during this challenge, I'm going to hit that 3-page limit because it really gets you to explore different themes and different thoughts in your brain that you wouldn't otherwise if you weren't actually required to sit down and try to come up with 3 pages worth of things to write about. So it's really, really good for unlocking your creativity and just for your mental health as well. Next, I'm going to have a daily tidying of a space. So I need to pick one space in my house. I need to tidy it up before I go to bed. I have ADHD, and keeping my house organized and clean is just something that's a challenge for me. But it's also really important to me. I am a Taurus rising, and that means that I really value having a beautiful space. And if my space is cluttered and chaotic, so is my brain. If I do it in small steps like that, like even just a 10-minute clean every single day, it doesn't get so overwhelming to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even handle this. So every single day, I'm going to be tidying a space. Next, I'm going to be doing my devotional and prayer. I think I'm going to start off with the Daily Reflections book, which is for AA members. So if you don't know, I am sober. I've been sober for 4.5 years, but I didn't ever fully commit myself to their programs or anything like that. And I just really want to go back into my recovery journey and make sure that I'm like healing from that addiction rather than just not drinking anymore. And I think AA is one of the coolest programs in the entire world. It's something that is so inspiring, and they have there's such wisdom within it that I know that I want to bring that recovery back into my life. I'm super drawn to books about people who have battled addictions and who have overcame them and different things like that. And I also continue to have relapsing dreams where I just want to make sure that that's not something that's ever in the realm of possibilities for me. So I need to get back to a place where I am prioritizing my recovery, where I am prioritizing, healing from that addiction rather than just like completely white knuckling it and avoiding alcohol. So those are my daily tasks that I'm going to be doing. And we're going to reevaluate in 30 days. So those are going to be the things that I'm doing for March, but that could change going forward. So every single one of those things is something that I've done consistently in the past. So nothing's going to be new, but the new thing is going to be the fact that I am doing those every single day without fail, no excuses. And that's what's going to be so transformative, right? I've had different times in my life where I have leaned too far into the boss mode, where I'm almost too disciplined, where it's too rigid and like it leads to burnout. But I've also been on the complete other side of that spectrum where I have been too much in my feminine energy and just listening to my body and doing only what I feel. And I think there's a really happy medium balance there. But none of these things that I'm doing are crazy difficult or something that like would lead to burnout, right? I think I could do every single one of these things and just be a disciplined, super aligned version of myself. And that's what I want to be. So I'm going to write all these down in my habit tracker, and then I'm going to write myself a letter, kind of like a promise to myself to make sure that I feel my why, that I know why I'm doing this. And anytime where I feel like, oh, I'm just going to give up, doesn't really matter. I'm going to go back to that letter and I'm going to read it to myself. And I think this is going to be a really transformative time in my life. I think it's going to be something that I look back at and I'm like, I am so, so, so happy that I did that. And I would just love it if you would join me. It doesn't matter what your habits are, just commit to tracking a bunch of habits for 75 days and do things that are realistic, right? Make this something that you can achieve. Make sure this is achievable. But habit tracking has absolutely changed my life, and I really want to get back to it. And another thing I'm doing is giving myself a big fat reward at the end. So you know what motivates you. I don't necessarily know what motivates you, but I know for me, I love a good tropical vacation. I love a good reward at the end of doing things. So I am going to give myself a nice vacation at the end of this. It can be like a little creative retreat or something like that, or maybe I'll bring my husband with and it will be amazing. But yeah, having that reward at the end that I cannot give myself unless I actually complete it, and also knowing my why and having a vision of who I'm going to be on the other side of this is going to be what keeps me sticking to this challenge, even when it gets hard, even when I get sick, even when I have so many different excuses that I could make. I am committing to not making any excuses and actually completing this challenge. So I would love it if you join me, or if you just want to watch along. Maybe that's what you need to feel inspired. Maybe you want to see if I can do it. I would love to know what kind of things you want to see throughout this challenge. I would love to know what kind of questions you have about me and the life that I live, what kind of things you want to hear about. I want this channel to be something that really serves you, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you so much for watching, and I am so excited for what these next 75 days have in store for us.